And yes, I do feel terrible that Donald Trump is not here to tweet through this. I'm going to be honest with you. I do. I think about it. I thought about it last night when I was covering it for like 3 hours. And I've been thinking about it, like, what would happen if Donald Trump was alive right now? But he's not. His Twitter account is gone, so he might as well be. You know? Like, imagine the fucking tweets that would come out of Donald Trump. The content king. Like, Melvin Capital, bunch of losers! Like, update. I watched Citron Research. Andrew left. Nipples protruding. He's so sweaty. He's crying. Cry more, loser. You're no longer welcome in my golf clubs. Yeah. Citron Research. More like Shitron Research. Believe me. Very disrespectful. Gotta admit, it's really something to see Wall Streeters with a long history of treating our economy as a casino complain about a message board of posters also treating the market as a casino. Anyway, be careful using pump. SEC will investigate you, lol. SEC will investigate me. Investigate this dick, SEC. I don't even have a credit card, bitch. I don't own any stocks, dumbass. Investigate my cock in your mouth. Investigate DN, dude. We're pumping DN. What's DN, says the SEC? These nuts, motherfucker. These nuts. I literally do not own a single fucking stock, okay? I don't even have a goddamn credit card, so good luck. I thought you were going to say investigate this fucking zit with the zoom in. No, that's not what I was saying.
So first, let's answer this question. I'm just fine. Citron Capital is just fine. Covered the majority of the short in the 90s, at a loss 100%, have a small imaginable position, and I'll let it go. For those who don't have a short, for those with a short memory, you might remember Tilray a few years ago. I learned from Tilray. It was a killer. I saw where it went all the way in the mid 200s, and it settled all the way back down. I think now it's 17 or 19, but it went all the way to $6. I expect the same thing from GameStop, but I have respect for the market. Second, and this is very important, I also have respect for the people on the Wall Street Bets and on the Reddit message boards. Before there was Reddit, before there was memes, before there was Instagram, and yes, before there was even Facebook, there was Citron Research. We were the voice of the individual investor against the institution. I took the lawsuits. I went to court. I took the questions to lay the foundation. So obviously I support any...
Wow, dude, this guy's a real fucking proletarian over here, dude. He's the guy, dude. Listen, you fucking kids don't know who you're messing with, okay?
Opposing opinions. But what I never did was I never got personal, I never got nasty, and I never threatened a corporate executive, their family, or any shareholders. It was always business. Now, I have to say, since I've actually mentioned that, there's been a fair amount of GameStop shareholders who've come out and supported me and said, hey, we don't agree with any of the behaviors done by those others. But it just had to get put out there. So where do we go in the future? For those who've paid attention, last year, Citron Capital had a wonderful year. We expect to have a good year again this year. The reason why we have respect for the markets. Last year, we had some great long calls with Jumia, with Schrodinger, with Sonos, stocks that were off the radar that went up 200-300% that we gave to our readers. And we have to be judicious about the short book. Even though we have been called boomers many times over the past week, we understand the changing dynamics in the market. So with that, we'll become more judicious when it comes to shorting stocks. Doesn't mean the industry is dead, but it just means you have to be more specific. As for longs, we have some great ideas in the future that we look forward to present to our readers that we think are 4 and 5 backers. And the last piece of advice, and I was questioning whether to say this or not, but I have to, because me being an individual investor, a successful one for over 25 years, have to give this piece of advice to the Reddit people who are watching. When you make your profits, make sure you put some away for the IRS. That money's not all your money, but at the end of the year, you do owe tax money. And I've seen many an individual trader let that money roll, and maybe hit a bad cold spot come April and put them in a tough situation. That's just a piece of advice from someone.
I mean, he's right about that, except, what kind of taxes is this guy paying? I'm willing to bet it's not a lot, okay?
With experience. So with that, cautious investing to all. We move on. Nothing has changed with GameStop except the stock price. Certainly interesting times.
But you can't say, okay, You literally can't say nothing has changed with GameStop except the stock price, because that's the whole point. Now they could literally, now they have capital. Like, they literally could they could sell some of it and literally go out and purchase another company, okay? And then wipe out half the employees in that company. And tomorrow this motherfucker would be like, well, my position was wrong. If you say nothing has changed with GameStop, you're admitting that the stock market is all a sham. You're admitting that what you do is just gambling with literally nothing backing it. You can't live in this universe where you act like the stock price increasing is nothing at all, and then it's imaginary, and then turn around and be a fucking hedge fund manager the next morning. You can't. It doesn't make sense. It's either everything or it's fucking nothing. And I'm on the side of it's nothing, by the way. Just if you understand where I'm coming from. Yes, he's right. Those stock prices changing is meaningless. Things that move that stock price can be just as meaningless as people pushing against a hedge fund, okay? Because it's not directly tied to an asset in that circumstance. Just like shorting something beyond its like actual value to drive it down is fundamentally a meaningless endeavor that you are engaging in just to make more money. Okay? It's all over. All your stocks are being frozen. All your assets are being seized. You have all the posts and chatter as evidence to prove you're doing is malicious market manipulation. You financial terrorists are finished. Yeah. I've called on the SEC to come and take you away, sir. Robinhood sells its users' trades microseconds before they're processed to these hedge funds so they can scam the plebs. Now that they're getting scammed, let them eat dirt, I say. I mean, it's Citadel that literally does that. On your side, but the point of clarification, companies don't get any of this capital being traded around unless they issue new shares. Okay, fine. And that takes time. And that will actually change your stock price as well. Certainly. But again, you can still do it. There are ways that now for this new valuation or this new stock price is absolutely a way for GameStop to tomorrow, if they decided to do so, turn their entire fucking business around. They could do it. He meant that GME is still a bad company that is likely to not produce significant return on investment. Even with newfound capital, not much has changed. Maybe new price target that is a few dollars above what it was in mid-January. Good to short. I understand what he's saying. But once again, you don't know, and neither do I. They could literally take advantage of what has happened in the past couple of days and bring on new investors if they want to. Take some additional capital and literally go out and buy an esports organization or something, a growing industry that literally allows them to carve out a space for their new initiative, their new endeavor of turning GameStops into literally fucking hubs of esports and computer repair facilities and shit like that. They could literally do that. I'm making this stuff up. Well, not entirely making it up. It is still aligned with the ultimate restructuring of GameStop as the way that the fucking Chewy dude was talking about it. But like, if they did that, then all of a sudden they're literally they are now absolutely worth that stock price. Okay? And that is because they are doing custom PCs. Yes, I know. I know that they're trying to restructure it into like a PC repair place, and also like change their brick and mortar retail shops to restructure their brick and mortar retail shops to basically turning them into like internet cafe style esports hubs. But then on top of that, they could literally fucking go out and buy an esports team, for example. So share price, not valuation, brother. I know. So what I am trying to do, what I'm trying to say here is that, again, you do not know. Like, you do not know what they can fucking do. And you have no idea. You have absolutely no fucking idea. The principle behind it is still the same, though. The principle behind it is that you can artificially boost the stock price or artificially lower it without actually touching the fundamentals in the way that these fucking boomers talk about it. Now you're making this stuff up. Nothing I said is made up with the exception of like GameStop potentially purchasing an esports team. Everything else that I mentioned with GameStop restructuring is actually real. I didn't make that up. I'm not saying that that's actually a bet that will work. The brokerages are trying to stop this right now by making younger traders get margin called and give up their shares. That is the new price target, not 300. There's a new story behind the valuation, but the story still needs numbers, hence the fundamental value. Traded GME when I saw your YouTube video of this and made 100 in 5 minutes. Still not subscribing though. What? Don't fucking, like, I'm not telling you to do anything. Don't be a fucking idiot, okay? Like, especially if you're getting in at this point, like, you're a little late there, buddy, okay? Don't fucking do that.